I'm a marketologist. I have two higher education, lawyer and marketologist. My second education I get in Vienna, and I stayed in Bratislava after that. So I work as a marketologist. I have four kids, and when the war has started, one my friends called me that they were at the zone of the war in Luhansk region, and the bomb fall on their orphanage. And I have friends who run a touristic project in the western Ukraine at the safest part now, and they called us. We can if we can somehow organize aid. So this is actually started. We just took two family type orphanages from Kherson and from Kyiv, because Chernihiv was occupied at that period, and this orphanage from. And then we took some kids who didn't have parents but had like foster families. But we just rented them houses in resort area, and it was just like that. And when there were like too many, we decided that we need one place where they can all live. And together with our partners, one of the biggest construction companies, Kyiv Miskbud, City One, and the other companies, we renovated one of the touristic buildings, and all the kids came to live over there. With time, some of the family type orphanages found their place, like they have their own house in different now. Chernihiv was deoccupied, so they went home. We had two more different orphanages right now. We have the orphanage from Luhansk region. We have some foster families. We have kids deprived from parental care, and we have a mom with multiple kids from the war zone.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think you forgot that you have a pet also now from.
And of June, the tragedy in Kakhovka happened. That the Russians bombed the hydroelectric station, and 80 cities were underwater. So a lot of animals stay without home. A lot of animals became homeless. So we decided to build a small shelter for the animals. Right now we have 26 animals in that shop also. And I didn't know that it would work so well, because now the kids and the pets exchanging love. This is so sweet.
Good that it worked well then. But wow, Renata, can you tell me more about the kids that are staying at the Zatashuk? What are their age, and what are the main challenges that you face, and what are the services that you provide for them?
There are two legal entities inside Zatashuk. One is social rehabilitation center, and the other is charity foundation. Kids who are deprived from parental care have to go to the social rehabilitation center, even though it's just one building. And we can take kids without parents. We can take from the age of 3 till 18. If we have foster families, or we have type orphanages, or if we have mummies with multiple kids, for example, after the Kakhovka tragedy, we have a lot of mummies with kids. One of the mother have 7 kids, so it doesn't matter how old are they.
Okay. Thank you. And what do you see? So what do you provide? Which facilities do you provide for those families?
Have everything. Each room have 4 beds. For big families, we have double rooms. Each room have its shower, toilet, so it's more like hotel. They have a kids room. They have a place where the books are stored. They have a place where they can study with PCs. They have 5 times per day meal. We care about their health. For example, maybe you have seen that one of the kids have had very, very big problems with his teeth. He doesn't have parents, and he couldn't eat because of the pain in his teeth. So we did everything in his mouth. Also, we have now a kid who needs an operation on his eyes. We already have a doctor who will do it for free.
Are those people working for Djakoejoe, or are those volunteers?
No, we don't have volunteers because the Djakoejoe is a touristic village, but it's pretty far from big cities. So we don't usually have volunteers. Sometimes people who want to stay with kids come to volunteer to play with. But otherwise, like for example, the shelter for the animals were be able to absolutely voluntarily, but with the personnel of Djakoejoe still. We have teachers, we have people who clean Djakoejoe, who cook food. We have psychologists, we have nurse.
So how many, do you know how many working places?
18 right now, 18. But there are some working places available.
Thank you. And so how do you how do you get the funding for the fixed cost? Because as far as I understand, you have fixed costs. You need to pay salaries for all those people who work for you, and for some recurring costs. And you have a one-time project. So how do you organize the funding, and what is your main challenges in terms of needs?
We have partners. We actually funded with partners. It's not always enough, so we try to cover at least salaries, and the other we try to get by humanitarian aid. There are stuff that we cannot get at the humanitarian aid. It's fresh food because usually people send like sugar, pasta, and forages, but we need to give them apples and oranges and strawberries. So yeah, most of the needs we take by humanitarian aid, but every month is a challenge, of course, because with time the help to Ukraine is less now, and yeah, so every month it's a challenge. We have some big projects inside of Djakoejoe which we would like to find partners to help us with. As I told you before, we have different kids. Some of them came with mummies, and some of them are deprived from parental care, and they came from different social environment. And for us, it's very important to show them the healthy behavior. And to show the healthy behavior, we would like to promote sport. That's why we would like to make football field for them, a big field when they can play football, but also do another sport, and a playground for kids. This would be very, very important for those kids, especially for the ones who came from hard social environment.
Yeah. I hope that we will be able to help with the playground from on behalf of our stichting. We are working on that, but I have a video on how the playground or how the location and facilities do look like, and where this play equipment, let's say, will fit. And I agree, of course, with so many kids, it's important to have enough entertainment outside and possibilities to.
So as you can see, located in the perfect place, the mountains are around. and we have a big territory. And for sure, the sport field and playground for kids would be very, very helpful for them to play outside and have healthy behavior.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Renata. And as far as I understood from you from the last time, you're always welcoming people and people who donated to come across and to have a look at Zatershoek.
Not only the ones who donated, we always welcome people who would like to see how it looks like. We have a special room, the guest room, where you can stay, because Ukraine now we are located in the only area in Ukraine not restricted to go outside on the streets after 10 o'clock due to the war. So usually people cannot get out of the district. So you can stay for a night in our place. This guest room is made for the people who would like to adopt a kid. And we always have guests in this room. You are more than welcome.